Hello and welcome back to the next part of how does that even work? Last time we used it on paper to find out if we can use it to make paper better. For the answer you should just watch the video. And now we're going to went up to the next step. Cardboard or thicker paper, layered paper, cardstock, you know, the whole stuff that is thick and used for crafting and stuff like that. I also made the decision to compare those two to gesso, clear gesso in this case, and this is what I'm going to do. I will use the left side for gesso and the right side for Aqua Ground. I will do again 3 layers, shake it well beforehand and make 1 layer, because you only need 1 layer with the gesso. I use it so many times. And also, yeah, you can leave it for 24 hours, but you don't need to do that. Yeah. And after that I will paint a beautiful scenery. It's 2 characters. I already sketched them out, and then we will see how good this is working. And if it is working well, we will have some more fun. If it's working badly and things go wild, I say that's a good thing to find out, because better now than later. So follow me on the next step of Aqua Ground. What the heck are you even doing? That is not the name of the series. That is what I had in mind right now. So yeah, let's start. So I'm back. After 3 coats and a bit of drying time, I finished priming the cardboard. Though I have to say something. After doing the first layer, I noticed something, which is, if you can see the shininess, that it looks suspiciously like matte varnish, or better to say, it feels suspiciously like matte varnish. So I used also to make the warping a bit less extensive. I primed the background, the backside with the matte varnish, and we will find out if it is indeed just matte varnish. I will now sketch on the characters I wanted to draw, and on the background we will just make backside. Excuse me, why I always want to say background. On the backside we're just doing some carrots, because that's faster. And I can make some washes to test that out better. So yeah, it's time to draw. Hello and welcome back to the end result of my little test series. As a reminder, this is the gesso side and this is the 3-layer Aqua Ground side. Like I said before, I thought about why this feels so like something I know I already own, and I thought it could be matte varnish. I mean, I still don't own matte medium, so it could also be matte medium. I do not know. You maybe saw the differences between those two pieces. First things first, this literally like you paint on paper, like you paint on anything that is remotely watercolor relevant. It's absolutely insane how well the cardboard took the washes, especially with only one layer. This is literally one layer of gesso, clear gesso. I'm absolutely confused by that because nowhere near does it say that it is used for special mediums, right? But this is literally like what I expected this would be. Textured, yes, I'm a bit scared about my brushes, especially the more expensive ones. This is not expensive, but I was scared about the tip because it's really rough. Gesso is meant to make paint stick, and this is really, really rough. And I was a bit scared about the tip, that I will lose it or it's bent or something like that. But it didn't happen. I had absolutely no problem with washes. You saw that on the hand. This thing just took the water and distributed it. There were no, there is no pooling. Literally, there is absolutely no shine at all, which is insane. The only shine there is, it's from the gesso and my inability of getting rid of the pencil marks. This is matte. It's on the bottle. It says it's matte. Okay, so now to the Aqua Ground bird, which is shiny. Okay, I can live with that because watercolors are shiny. The background is shiny. Yeah, you can put a matte varnish on top, so I don't care. But holy damn boy, did working with this suck at the beginning. Let me elaborate. So, you probably saw that the moment I put on a heavy, a fluid, a really, really wet layer, this thing falls apart. Like literally, falls apart. It's pooling, it's not drying at all. It took at least 3 times of that to dry. Maybe I put too much paint on, yes. Maybe I didn't use enough water here, yes, could be. You see that the browns have tendencies to be transparent and or semi-opaque, so it will not be. You will always be able to see through it. It's a fact. It's like it is. You mix it with a different color that is opaque. In my case, it's the so-called Deckweiß, which makes everything literally opaque. Okay, you saw me struggle with this layering, right? You saw me struggle with the base layer of the bird. Okay, and you also saw me struggle with the green, and you still see how transparent it is and how I try to layer it and make it make the shininess disappear and stuff like that. Okay, but after putting everything down, the base layer, and starting to layer, after making everything dry 100% completely, this felt like the closest thing in my possession to oil painting. I have to say, in my life, I only ever painted with oils once. And I do not have any experience with it. I wanted to buy some colors some days ago, but I do not have the money for that. But this felt so much like oil painting because of the ground. Watercolors are instantly rewettable. Instantly. You can blend them perfectly. Okay, you have to be careful with the transparent paints, yes. They tend to leave strokes. You see them still here, right? I could layer 100 more times. But did you see literally me drawing the carrot? Never in my life have I had the chance, or was I ever able to blend with watercolors this well. It took the dried feather red in my yellow-orange wash, and I used it to shade it, and it's so smooth. It is literally like oil painting. And that confused me, because that is not what watercolor is about, right? Watercolor is about washes and pastel colors and intricate effects, stuff like that, right? Just thinking about using watercolors like oil paint confuses me. But I found it fascinating. Okay, you have to wait longer to make it dry. Yes, I sat here over 30 minutes. Normally for the grounds, I put it on my heater, my central heating system. It's dry in minutes, but I wanted to test out how long would it take, because this layer is wet. It was wet. It was a lot of water involved. There was pigments, there was separation, stuff like that. And I wanted to find out, how does it look? What can I do? And stuff like that, right? The moment it is dry, it is so much fun to work with it. But one thing you have to be 100% sure about is the amount of water you can use. Because there is a stage of amount of water where you cannot use, you cannot use it on this ground. It's just not going to work. It's like a repellent, it's like staying there, you won't have fun. But if you have a semi fluid and more like dry, we will see it on the back side, what I mean, then you have fun. One thing I still do not enjoy is the shininess. I know this thing never said it's matte, but the shininess is awful. I know that the non-transparent Aqua Grounds from the other companies, and probably also from Schmincke, are not see-through. So the problem is that if you use a see-through, you cannot put in those tiny pieces to make it more like paper. The white ones or the black ones have this paper structure mixed into it, so it's literally paper. But that is why I do not think it is fun to experiment with. It's literally paper. It feels like paper, it is paper, but this is not paper. This is a medium, probably matte medium, but it's a bit shiny for matte medium, so who knows. And this medium is weird. It's really weird. I love it. I mean, I hate it, but I love it. So, the one thing is, what do you think about this revelation, right? Because that made my mind blown, that blew my mind, that was like, oh, I don't know. The only thing that I kind of think is not so good is that if you use pencil, you can't get rid of it because it's so structured. So your pencil is there forever, probably. You could use the brush to try and get rid of it, but it won't work really well. You could try to use an eraser, have fun with that. I tried it with my kneadable eraser, but the one I use is, you saw that, well, that it disintegrated, literally. That thing disintegrates because of the texture. No chance. You can roll it, but I don't know. So yeah, erasing is not going well with this. So, like I said, I thought this was matte medium. I thought this is definitely something I own because I felt that texture before. So I put on 3 layers of matte medium. And would you look at that? It is not matte medium. Or it is not matte varnish at least. Because you see the difference, right? You 100% see the difference. This thing does not take water at all. It's repellent. I went down from water with an extremely tiny bit of pigment, a little more pigment, extremely low water, and almost dry. Even with the almost dry, you see there is no way this is going down as a how do you say that? Without patches. Let's say all this. Yes, for organic things it could be beautiful, right? I love the color mixture I did with the purple, red and green, but you see the brush strokes. I used the same technique with this ground and with the ground. This is basically you put on a layer of the medium and then you take your time and brush over it with a soft bristled brush, and go direction and then the other direction until it's drying. And when it's drying, it's starting to get a bit sticky. If it's getting sticky, you have the chance to tone down the brush strokes. You still see them here. Especially, let's take it here, right? You see them, that there is a vertical brush stroke. But even if I look hard, I made it so no brush stroke is seen, which is amazing. So yeah, the question is answered. This is not matte medium. This is definitely something else. I'm always saying matte medium. I do not know if it's matte medium. It's not matte varnish, or at least not a matte varnish I own. So yeah, this is a fascinating thing. I do not know how I will go on forward from this point, but I think I will try to make the next test as well with the gesso and with the medium, because this is, if I remember correctly, this was cheaper than the gesso, but this is matte. You see the difference, even if I don't show it from an angle. You see the difference, and personally I hate shiny things. So this could be a game changer. This is absolutely 100% a game changer, because this changes the medium into something else, and I'm so in love with this. And I'm already talking again for so long, I'm sorry, but yes, I have a long list of different grounds to test on, glass, metal, clay, my miniatures. I bought it because I want to paint on miniatures. I will try to make it on miniatures. Stone. I need to find a stone. I do not own stones. I live in a big city. There are no stones around here. And I can steal stones. Well, there's a stone. Look at that. There's a stone lying around. But I can't paint on that. That looks ugly. So yeah. I do not know where I could get one. I mean, a stone, right? But maybe I can ask someone if he or she could send me a stone. Or maybe I asked my parents because as a child I was collecting stones. So, yeah. Also the glass part will be interesting. And also 100%, I mean more like 1000%, I will also try it out on the magic cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards and stuff like that, because one thing I know that is amazing with watercolor is washes. Yes, people swear always on oil washes. I swear by my watercolor brushes, washes. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you had any way of following this and understanding why I love this experiment so much and why I need this experiment so much. And like I said in the last video, I do not know if I'm making this weekly, monthly or whatever, but there is enough left to talk about, to think about and stuff like that. So I wish you a nice day, I wish you a nice weekend, I wish you the best month of your life, and I hope we see us next time. The moment it means what the fuck is going on with Aqua Ground.